Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is hopefully going to be the start of a new series here on my channel. I love to do series here and there, and I was thinking today, as I was planning what to film, I figured that it would be really fun to start a series sharing with you my #1 products at the moment. I feel like my go-to products really do rotate just depending on the season, depending on how I'm feeling, and then there's some things that really do just stay in my routine for a really long time. So I thought, what if I create a video, and this might be a frequent video, maybe as frequently as once a month, maybe a little longer than that, just depending on how often my routine switches up. But I wanted to do something where I went category by category and only selected one product that I am in love with right now that I feel like is my current #1 in that category. So this is kind of a favorites video in a sense, but not a favorites video because I feel like in my favorites videos, I might suggest 3 different lipsticks that I recently tried out, or 2 eyeshadow palettes, or a couple of foundations that I'm into. Where this style of video really makes me think about, okay, what is it that I am so giddy about that I would choose over everything? Some of these things are new, some of these things are old, so I thought it would be really fun to kind of start this series. I would love to hear your feedback on it as well, and we're just going to go through every product. I will say that I'm sure there will be some repeat products as I continue on this series, just because some products in certain categories just can't be beat. This first category is one that I think will have some reoccurring products for the most part. So my #1 brow pencil right now is still the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. I absolutely love this pencil. It never lets me down. By the way, I'm wearing all the makeup that I'm going to be talking about, so this is what I have in my brows. I personally love the shade #4, and then my favorite brow setter, this is my #1. This is the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This duo goes everywhere with me. I absolutely love it. I always have one of these on hand, and you guys could have probably guessed that if you watch a lot of my videos. You know that I use these pretty much every day. I literally do use them every day, and they're definitely my #1 brow products right now. So for primer, as I was thinking about the primer that I genuinely am so in love with right now, maybe it's because of the weather changing or something, but I've been into a little bit more of a basic primer as far as just wanting something that's gonna moisturize my skin and prep my skin for makeup really nicely. And for me right now, my #1 is actually the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing Face Primer. I don't know what it is about this. I just love how it feels on my skin. I feel like almost every foundation that I put on top of this looks so beautiful. And again, it's kind of more of a basic primer just because it's just hydrating. But that's what I love about it, and honestly, moving into fall and winter, I think that's why it crept into my #1 spot, because my skin tends to get more dry, obviously, so I need that extra boost of hydration. So when I was thinking of which foundation to pick, I actually was able to choose this pretty quickly. I've discovered some amazing new foundations recently, and you guys have probably heard me talk about a lot of them. I will definitely be featuring some of them in my upcoming favorites video. However, when it came down to the one I'm loving the most, it has to be this one. Excuse the dirty cap. I use this all the time. It's the Oma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. This is the foundation I have all over my skin. This never ceases to amaze me. I love how my skin looks every single time I wear it. At the very end of the night, after a long day of wearing it, it always looks so beautiful. And in fact, I was actually pretty shocked. This month I was able to try a foundation that I've been wanting to try for so long because I've heard such good things about it, and that's the Pat McGrath foundation. And you guys, I like how this wears on me better than the Pat McGrath foundation. So to me, that really says something. I love how you can customize the coverage on this, which is what I personally look for in a foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, which is also amazing. So I love that foundation. Again, it wears so well on me, and I have nothing bad to say about it. So for concealer, the #1 concealer I have to choose is this one right here. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I love this concealer, especially for right now, because I feel like I'm wearing a little bit more makeup as far as complexion goes. I feel like in the spring and summer, I like to reach for more fresh looking, lightweight concealers for the most part, but for some reason this one is something that I've been reaching for. Even if I do go for a more like everyday makeup look, I love how this makes my skin look airbrushed. So I'll just take a brush and I will apply it underneath the eyes, and I like to drag it down in kind of a triangle because it smooths out my pores really nicely. This looks beautiful and lasts all day long on me. I also love to use it over blemishes. I have a darker shade that I use over blemishes, but the shade I use under my eyes is Vanilla Light 2. It is amazing. My number one powder right now, I don't know if I've properly given this enough attention, but I was thinking about which powder I'm seriously obsessed with right now, and it's this one. And it's funny because I've been using this for a while, and it's still my current top pick. So this is the Zoeva finishing powder. It's their Authentic Skin finishing powder, I think is what it's called. It comes in a ton of different shades. I actually use a couple different shades. I use the shade Dazzling if I'm wanting a brightening effect, but then I usually use Outstanding if I want to simplify my routine and just use something that's going to work under my eyes and all over the face. The thing I love about this is it sets my makeup. It's very finely milled, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it doesn't make my skin look flat. I have it all over the skin, and I don't know if you can tell really on camera, but it doesn't look powdery to me. It just looks fresh, and again, it kind of leaves that radiance to the skin, which is something that I personally love and look for. My number one bronzer right now is one that I have been loving for so long, but nothing has topped it in my opinion. It's this one right here from Milani. This is the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. I love mine in the shade 01 Sunlight. Of course, this is a bronzer I'm wearing all over my skin. There's something so foolproof about this. That's why I keep reaching for it. That's why it has stayed in the number one spot for so long now. I've been using this nonstop for, gosh, I think I've used this for close to a year now. I think when it launched, it had to have been at least a year ago. And I haven't been able to put it down since then. So that really tells you something. Plus it's from the drugstore, which is amazing, which is another thing I wanted to mention, you guys. Each category, I mean, I don't know how it will look in the future, but I am not purposefully making sure to mix drugstore and high-end. Like, if it's a drugstore product, it's my number one in my entire collection. And if it's a high-end product, it's my number one in my entire collection, if that makes sense. So the Milani bronzer is definitely a top pick for me. My current number one blush is actually one that I recently added to my collection. This was sent to me by Hourglass, and I've talked about it a couple times here on my channel. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Sublime Flush. This is one of their newer colors. I love the coral and the lavender in this. I love how beautiful the finish is. When I apply this to my cheeks, because of the baked formula, it just smooths over the skin and it has that bit of radiance to it as well. I've mentioned this before when I've talked about this blush in the past, how I like to use this not only when I'm doing more glam looks like I did today, but also for more of an everyday situation where I just want some color on the cheeks and I want some radiance. I will skip highlighter sometimes when I just use this because it gives that much of a glow. It's not sparkly in any way, it just gives just the right amount of glow to the skin, and I am loving it. So when I was thinking about my number one highlighter, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I have one. And then I remembered this highlighter right here. I am obsessed with this, you guys. This is another drugstore item. This is from Catrice. It's the Sungasm Face and Body Highlighter. It's only $10. I don't think I'll ever hit pan on this because I personally don't use it on my body. I just use it on the high points of my face. It gives the most beautiful, natural, yet very glossy effect to the skin. You don't need that much when you apply it. I just use the tiniest amount and I buff it into the skin, and then I always like to use my sponge, whatever sponge I've been using, to apply my foundation, and I will go over that really gently just to press it into the skin a little more. It looks more skin-like that way. I love the effect that that gives. This is my number one highlighter right now. It's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. All right, let's move on to eyeshadow. So I've been loving quite a few eyeshadow palettes recently, but when I was thinking about what I'm loving right now, this is one that has made its way back into my routine nonstop. And again, I think it's because of the season, maybe. This is something that I feel like looks really good right now in fall. It's a little bit more of a cool tone palette. It's the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette. So this is actually their new packaging. I think it's so cute. So I have another one. I have been using this one, and this is the one I used today, but it doesn't look quite as used and loved as my old one. So if you're confused by that, that's why. It's actually just a new one because they sent me their new packaging. But this is so beautiful. Obviously, this is what I used to create the eye look today. And I was sharing some of these pics with my husband because he helps me plan my videos and set up my videos and stuff. And he was a little bit surprised that I chose this one. He was like, really? Why do you love that one? Why is that your number one still? And I told him, I was like, because I look good in every color. I feel like my eyes are complemented by every single color in this palette. Every single color is foolproof and I feel beautiful wearing all of the shades, which is actually really difficult to find when you think about it. I can name like maybe a few palettes that I love all of the shades in. There's usually a couple at least that I just do not reach for at all. In this palette, I reach for all of them. And yeah, I just really like the vibe. I think it gives just a nice muted, more cool toned fall vibe effect to my makeup. And that's why I chose it as my number one right now. For mascara, this might not be very surprising to you. However, let me explain. I've used this for so long. It's been one of my top mascaras for so long, definitely. But I always love to try new mascaras. So I was trying a lot of new mascaras for a long time. And then I started using this one again. And it has stuck back into my routine on a daily basis. It's the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. If you haven't tried this yet, you have to try it. It is so beautiful. So I actually went through a phase where I only used this on my like no makeup days because there's something about a bold lash with really soft complexion products that I really love. But I would usually reach for other mascaras for more of a smoky eye, but recently I've been loving this one for more glam eye looks as well. I'm wearing it on my eyes and I feel like I'm able to really build up the volume. It creates the perfect amount of definition in front of any eyeshadow look, and then also it's just the best to remove since it's a tubing mascara. It doesn't smudge or flake, which is another reason why it's like my number one. But yeah, that has definitely made its way back into my everyday routine. I've always loved it, like I said. It's always been in my routine somewhere, but it's pretty darn consistent right now. All right, moving on to lips. I was thinking about a lip liner that I've been loving, and this is another one that maybe because of the time of year, it has also returned into my routine, and that is the KKW Beauty Lip Liner in the shade Nude 1. You can see how much I love this. It's getting smaller and smaller, but I love the KKW Beauty lip liners. I think she makes some of the best nude shades ever, but Nude 1, when fall rolls around, is my go-to. It's the lip liner I'm wearing all over the lips. I actually lined and filled in the lips with it today, and it just gives the lips a little bit of a contoured effect, at least for me and my skin tone, and it works with so many different lip colors. I also love to wear it alone actually, so that's why I wanted to put it in here as well. My number one lipstick right now, this makes me giddy. I fell back in love with this one as well. I think I discovered it last year sometime, and then I actually lost it, and then I bought a new one, and then I just barely found my old one. But anyway, this lipstick, I don't know what it is about the shade. It works with so many different lip liners. Almost every lip liner that I've used, whether it's more of a pinky tone or it has a mauve undertone or it's more of like a grayy brown like this lip liner that I'm wearing, it matches every lip liner. It's so good. This is from Maybelline. It's just their lipstick. I don't really know what formula this is. I think it's the Color Sensational lipstick, and this is in the shade 930 Truffle Tease. So that's the lipstick I have all over the lips. The darker shade on the edge is obviously the lip liner color. So that beigey tone in the center is this color. So here it is next to my lips, so you can kind of see where that color is on my lips. I love the formula of this, and again, it's just such a good color. It is such a good color, and I feel like it works with every single look depending on which lip liner I use. I'm just obsessed with it. My number one gloss right now is so incredible. I don't know what took me so long to find this. This is definitely a newer product to my collection, but it's so amazing. This is the Essence Shine 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 lip gloss. I just have the clear one. I've been meaning to go to Ulta to pick up some other shades. If you guys are a fan of this formula and you have other shades besides the clear one that you love, will you let me know in the comments below, because I would love to pick up more. But I love how this gloss looks so shiny on the lips. It's not sticky at all, and somehow it smooths over the lip products I put underneath and my lip lines, which not every gloss does that. Sometimes when you put a gloss on, I feel like it emphasizes texture. Something about this smooths it over like saran wrap. I don't know, that's the best way I can describe it. It just glides over the lips and makes it look like the most smooth, surface ever. It's my favorite. I love it right now. I think it's incredible. Plus it's like $3, so who doesn't love that? When I was thinking of setting sprays, I actually have been using one in conjunction with the primer that I talked about, and I don't know what it is about this. It's a little bit more of a basic setting spray in a way too. I think now that the weather is cooling down, I don't really need a super long wearing setting spray, if that makes sense. Usually those long wearing setting sprays are really helpful for me in the summertime. If I'm gonna be sweating a little bit, I really need my makeup to last. But right now, I really just want it to melt into the skin a little bit more, and I just want it to look fresh. So this is my number one right now. This is also from Too Faced. It's the Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. Every time I read the title of this, I remember that you can also use it as like a primer spray, and I still haven't tried it like that. I just like to use it as like a makeup setter. I don't know if it really helps with longevity or not, but I like the effect that it gives to my skin. I just think it's kind of smooths everything out, melts everything into the skin, and it's just perfect for what I need right now and what I'm looking for right now. So yeah, those are my number one picks right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you would like for me to make it a series. I would love to make it a series because again, I feel like things rotate back into my routine. They get replaced by other things. So I would love to kind of frequently update you guys on my number one picks in case you are looking to replace something in your collection. So I would love to know your thoughts on this video. And also I would love to know if you liked this style of video where I had the products on the face so you could kind of get a good look at them the whole time while I was doing the video, or in the future, like if you would rather me do a tutorial using them, let me know. I'm open to ideas, so just tell me how you feel about this video and this concept in general, how I could make it better. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for today's video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun putting these products together and also creating a full face using them. So I hope you guys had fun watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!